What do you say, Haley Beth? First one in, ready to go. First one in, ready to do this. Hey, Betty Jean, what are you doing? Can do, how are you, my spot? How are you, ladies? Good to see you, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Good to see everybody. Appreciate you coming through. Can do, I still owe you a package. I hadn't forgot you. Just things didn't go the way I expected. It's all good. We're gonna get there. Look at that. I got dust all over me. Laura Jane, how you doing? How you doing? Haley Beth. She got some stuff to tell us today. I bet Haley Beth's gonna be excited. You think she's ready, Laura? I don't know. You think she's ready? Thank you, my spot. I appreciate it. I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm not sure whether we will see Ashman or not tonight. He is under the weather. Had another tussle. Oh, mirrored. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Well, go ahead and send Haley up. And hey, Michael V, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. We got Mike Ploplis on tonight. I'll accept. Let's see if there we go. Uh-oh. Got us in the wrong format here. Hey, Spurs, how you doing? Laura?
Let me see if I can fix it.
Okay.
Okay, go. You know how to fix it?
I think I probably know how to fix it. Laura Jane could probably handle it.
Boss, let's.
That's right. She the boss. I believe you just got to hit on the...
And...
there we go. She got it.
Are we mentioning someone else or where?
I think I saw him in the chat. I'm not for sure. Just be patient. We're in no hurry here. We got plenty of time. I see you wearing your Ginn Project shirt, all ready to go. You got a big announcement for this week.
Yep.
Man, I see.
And she
You're
just came in, actually.
Oh, no. Say it ain't so. Mondo, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, Mondo.
What? Hey, Mondo.
Haley, you want to shout out a few of your friends in the chat here? They're saying hi to you.
Mondo, Severed, Laura Jane.
Don't you have something going on with Severed this week?
Guys, Friday night at 6:00 p.m., Severed in the chat is going to teach me a new art lesson. Be there or be square, because you're going to be...
Be there or be square. 6:00. What time, Haley?
6:00 Eastern Standard Time.
And hey, Sean, what's up, man? And you're going to be doing a lesson with Severed Art, the incredible, the fantastic, the absolutely amazing Severed Art. That Severed Art.
Yes.
Now, did you threaten her?
No.
How did you get her to do that?
A little birdie told a little birdie.
A little birdie helped you? Okay. All right. Well, I believe that our buddy is under the weather today, Haley. It might just be me today. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But get us started.
Me when to go.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. Hey, Kara.
Hi, welcome to the Ginn Project Show. My name is Haley Beth, and I'm the owner of it.
Hello, everyone. We had a minor technical difficulty. It's okay, Haley. No problem. We'll just start over. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Things happen.
Hey, guys, technical difficulties. My phone went kapooey, so let me start. I dropped you guys.
She might be.
Hi.
All right. There you go. Oh, sa. You ready?
Hi. Welcome to the Ginn Project Show. My name is Haley Beth, and I'm the owner of Haley Dot. I'm a diamond dot artist. I have a show every Friday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, the featured artist is art by Ploplis. Let's start the show again.
All right. All right. Thank you, Haley. Let's get Haley down before she hurts herself. I see that Can Do has an injury. Severed has an injury. Laura has it. Haley done dropped everybody on their head, y'all. My goodness. My goodness. Haley, I hope you're all right. Good to see everybody. I appreciate y'all coming in. Can Do, Laura, Betty Jean, thank you so much. Mondo. There's some Mondo art right over my head right there. We got Cara Jean in here. Severed. Vertebreakers in and out. Theodore, thank you for coming in. Katrina, thank you for coming in. Good to see y'all. You have found yourself at the Ginn Project Show. Tonight, we have artist Mike Ploplis on. An incredible guy, and it might be a good thing, thank you, Mondo, because Mike was a paramedic, and we might need a paramedic tonight because Haley's dropping people on their heads. So that's what we got. I would encourage everyone to please, even if you leave to go do it right now, run over to Ashman's site, Ashman from Glendale. My co-host, he has not been feeling well lately. He got into a tussle again with Smokey the Bear. Kara, we might need him. We might need 2 or 3 of them. Excuse me. So just go by, give a like, give some love to his stuff. He's been feeling pretty rough here lately. So please give some love to my guy Ash, man. Lift him up. He's always lifting us up. That's right, Laura. We all falling apart. We all getting older, that's for sure. And we are the senior crowd on this circuit. So, you know, it is. It's part of the process. That and some crappy luck. So, hopefully we will get Ashman back soon. We love the guy and we want him to be okay. So I hear you, Mondo. I hear you. You somehow managed to pull that off, and I don't know how you did it. Hi, Lars. Good to see you. Lars, I'm so sorry TikTok keeps trying to separate us. I'm glad you are so persistent, my friend. Our friend Lars right here in the chat, who you can see is a moderator. TikTok keeps dumping people off his friends list. So if you're in the chat right now, make sure to give Lars a follow. He's a huge supporter of the art community, amazing guy. He's a great photographer in his own right. He's over there in Norway, and I think it's causing some problems. And he's been with us since the beginning. So please give Lars a follow and some support. He's been having a hell of a time trying to stay hooked up with us. We got Kira Wilson Art in the chat. Hi, Kira. Good of you to join us. Thank you for coming in. If you haven't been watching, Kira's been putting the finishing touches on some paintings that are going to be in her show at the Haven Gallery on September 6th. That's in New York, and I hope to see y'all there. I'm planning on being there. We've had some life changes here in the last week, which might impact whether or not my wife will be there. Chuck, good to see you. Good to see you. We have a kitten we've been taking care of, and we'll see how that goes. TikTok gave your brush issues this morning. Heard that, Kara, heard that. Well, Kira frequently picks up violation for her knees. She is one of the most outlaw people on this platform, best I can tell, because I was fortunate enough last week to get to do a live with Kira. And Kira has a gazillion followers. I don't know how many, but way, way more than me. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But Kira's serious business, though. Suspended his gifting. Oh, man. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Well, Y'all, like I said, tonight we got Mike Ploplis. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Ploplis. And I ran across Mike because of this guy right here. Now, hey, MC, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, MC. MC and Eve were doing a painting this evening that I got to sneak in for a moment and check them out. MC, that painting with the bell on it's incredible, man. And Eve was working on one with a mountainscape. If you get a chance on Tuesdays before the Ginn Project show, Eve and MC are always painting. And it's a good time. Two absolutely wonderful people. And they are really, really fantastic artists. Of course, MC, thank you for stopping in, my friend. Good to see you, man. So if you get the opportunity, follow this guy right here, MCTC Forever. And Eve's Artistry, if you happen to see. There's a couple pieces by Eve's Artistry right here over my head. And Mondo was in here a little while ago, and there's a piece of art by Mondo right there. We like we're the McDoubles after party. That's right, Laura. That is absolutely right. So, also, you might notice I got a shirt what has a cupcake, vomiting, some gumdrops, and a candy corn. And that is a piece of art done by our friend Ashman. He has all kinds of cool stuff out. He's got a bunch of stickers. This is an Ashman sticker. This is one by Ashman. This is one by Ashman. You also got some S.A. Artistry stuff on here. And quite a few others you might recognize. But stop by and check out what Ashman has got going on as well. Not just his TikTok spot, but he also has a couple other spots you might want to check out. That .com spot that he has over there. Ashman Basic. Go check it out. Anyway, and we also my friend S.A. Artistry is right here. It isn't in yet, but S.A. had t-shirts made or available of this guitar right here when it was all put together. So go to Samantha the Starving Artist, or S.A. Artistries as we know her, and find her, and you can probably find that shirt. But that guitar is now on a shirt. Not the guitar, the artwork on the guitar. The guitar is not on a shirt. The guitar is sitting right behind me, but the artwork is on a shirt. So I would encourage you to go by and check out S.A. as well. Hey, Atlanta, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Folks, the guy that we have coming on tonight, Mike, I'm excited to have him on because this was one of those organic things, right? Vertebraker has had a whole bunch of medical stuff happen. And he's been in and out of the hospital and all kinds of stuff. Up to and including meaning he had to leave all of his stuff behind and go to another location to get treatment. And then he got stuck in Arizona. Anyway, it's a lot. So he's in and out of testing today. This is a piece I was fortunate enough to get from him. As you know, he took down my Uncle Freddie when they were wrestling down on the Gulf Coast. That's why I ended up living in the trailers, because Vertebraker is his fault. But nonetheless, Vertebraker did this piece. And I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to go check out Vertebraker stuff too. That's how I met Mike Ploplis. Is Mike saw that Vertebraker had a need and he took action. He actually saw a need and took time out of his day, multiple days, and some resources available to him, and he did something about it. So he kind of jumped to the head of the line as far as getting on the Ginn Project, simply because he was just out there doing things, trying to help people. And the two things about being on the Ginn Project are be serious about what you do and be willing to help other people along the way. If you fit those two qualifications, then you could be on the Ginn Project show. And most people do. So Mike is going to be on because Mike came up with this concept that folks could take the extra paper that they had. There's a particular kind of matte paper, which I don't have. I thought I did, but I don't. But he had the idea that artists could print out some copies of Vertebreaker's artwork and then send them to him, and Vertebreaker would be able to have those available for sale. It was just a wonderful idea, and he made it happen. So that was my introduction to him, was just seeing a guy in the community that was trying to do something good. And then I got the good fortune to get to have a conversation with him. Vertebreaker put us in touch, and we're gonna get to hear his story tonight. He has a very interesting art story, and he's a fellow veteran. He's been through some things. He was a paramedic. When he retired from being a paramedic, he was a flight paramedic. And as someone who was air crew, I can tell you that is no small feat. Goopy Goop, how you doing, buddy? How's our new dad doing? Well, relatively new dad. So the guy we're having on tonight has put it on the line time after time again for others. He is a giving soul and a kind person. He also had a horrible medical scare of his own here recently that he's recovering from. Maybe we talk a little bit about that tonight too. But he is an absolutely fantastic dude. I'm really fortunate that we got to have a conversation. Hey, Greg, how you doing, man? Been a while. I hadn't seen you in a minute, man. Good to see you, sir. So that's who's going to be on tonight, Mr. Ploplis, and I hope I'm saying his name. I was so unprofessional I didn't ask him the proper pronunciation of his name when we were talking. But at the time, I kind of got Mike figured out. So good. Glad to hear it, Greg. Glad to hear it, buddy. Good to see you, man. So if we have any little intermittent problems, it was storming here. Henry's down here with me, terrified. If it breaks up or anything like that, that's probably what's going on. It's storming where I'm at. Everybody, I appreciate you stopping in. It has been, you know, we've been doing this show since January 2nd, almost two years ago. When we get back around this time, it'll be 3 years. So about 2.5 years we've been doing the show, and that's a lot of interviews. When we first started, Chad and I were doing 2 shows a week for several months, and then we dropped it down to 1 show a week because that was plenty each. So there is a whole lot of shows available if you would like. And Laura Jane Art, who is in the chat right there, excuse me, y'all, has been putting in the work. She has put a bunch of videos and clips and stuff over on the YTubes. And she has been taking clips from these shows of our guests and doing some highlight reel type stuff. If you didn't see the show with Flex last week, go check it out. It's great. Hey, Vertebreaker, I was talking smack about you a minute ago, man. And she's put a lot of work into it. So big thanks to Laura down there. It's all available over on the YTubes, but she's also been making content, which I'm really excited about, actually, from the videos from these interviews of the guests, and it's really good stuff. So thank you also to Laura, and I would point out, folks, Laura is one of the people behind the scenes that keeps things going. I promise you, if it was not for Laura, we would not be having a show today. This would not be going down. So also a huge thank you to Kira Wilson Art. Kira has also been kind enough to help us out for the last several months. She's contractually obligated. It's not her fault. Please don't hold that against her. But without Kira, it'd be very difficult to do this as well. So a big thank you to Kira Wilson Art. I highly encourage you to go check out this project she's working on, Perry Wenth. It is absolutely incredible. She has come up with the characters that she paints, which in and of itself is absolutely phenomenal because she's a dope-ass artist. But she has written the stories behind the characters, and that's coming out too. and there's a map of the world that she's created, and it's just spectacular. So turn your notifications on for Kira Wilson art. If you happen to catch her on, go check out what she's working on. It's crazy good. It's amazing. Just what a creative person. I am beefing with her. We do have a feud going, and I would highly encourage you to take her side. Just take her side, y'all. Whatever we're feuding about, she's going to be the one that's right. I can almost guarantee it. I did start it, and she'll likely finish it, but let me see here. So again, our buddy Ashman, Ashman is down right now. He's been having a rough go of it. So please go by, give some love to Ashman's page, check out his website. You're right, Vertebraker. I always started. By the way, me and Vertebraker beefing too, because, well, we decided to squash that beef, didn't we? We decided it was all okay. He did sign that to my horrible Uncle Freddie, though. So, also, I actually have a box sitting right over there still for you too, Vertebraker. So, Vertebraker has a list. If you go to his page, if you go to Vertebraker, he's in the chat right there. If you'll click on his name and click on the links there, you can find he's got a wish list. He's an incredible artist, one hell of a good dude, and he really doesn't ask for much. He's a phenomenal artist, though. So, you know, if you find it in your heart, please go by and support some Vertebraker. Yes, he has a cool sneaky cat. Yes, he does. Yes, I'm not wearing the sneaky cat hat today. Which brings us to our guy, Matty Pace. If you have the opportunity and you're on during the daytime and you need something to lift you up, just make you feel a little bit better about yourself or about the day or whatever, Matty Pace is the dopest vibe on TikTok Live. He really is. He's a good dude. He's been on the show a couple times. He's also a great source of information. There's been a few times I've reached out to Matty with questions or needed information or something like that, trying to figure out how to do things, and he's always responded. He's just a great dude. So if you get the opportunity, Matty also has some merch. This is an embroidered hat. I really like these hats, and that's his. That's his deal right there. So, hey, Chipster, what's up, dude? Good to see you, Chipster. How are you, man? How are you? There's another one of my favorites there, Chipster76. This guy, I don't know. He has actually sat in this seat. He has been to my house. So we all right. We cool. But if you get a chance, check out Chipster too. He's been doing some amazing photography. I got an image behind me that he sent to me. You can't see it because the guitar's right there, but good stuff. Check him out. All right, y'all. Anything I'm forgetting? Any announcements that we need to make? Hey, Vec, what's going on, man? Good to see you, Mr. Luke. Thank you for stopping in. Anybody in the chat? Storm is acting up. Yeah, it is here too, can do. Anybody in the chat have any announcements or anything coming up or going on? I know Kira's got that show in September. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. If, don't forget, if you get a chance, follow Lars, y'all. He's been having a heck of a time. It keeps automatically unfollowing people. Lars has been following me for a couple years, and he's had to refollow me like 20 times in the last few days or whatever. Flutterby, good to see you. Hope you're doing all right, Flutterby. There's another one of those folks that kind of keeps things rolling over here. Whenever I'm live, Flutterby generally comes through and helps out whenever she is able. So a big thanks also to Flutterby. Make sure to give her a follow. She's awesome. Mondo, right there. Happy Accidents by Chad. If I'm not mistaken, Chad, please drop this in the chat, man. I don't want to give the wrong times, but I believe the end of this week, I want to say Friday, but please correct me if I'm wrong. He's having another one of his art auctions, and Happy Accidents by Chad's been a guest on here. Everybody knows he's a great dude, amazing artist. Is that right? If you're still in here, Happy Accidents. I believe it's on Friday. Yesterday, we followed my wife every 3 minutes for 3 hours. Lars is even having to refollow his wife, y'all. TikTok me, TikToking. Sometimes TikTok me, TikToking. I do believe, Happy Accidents may have just been passing through, but I do believe that it was Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I saw a clip of his. I believe he's having another one of his art auctions, so that would be cool to check out. If you are ready, sir, then we can go ahead and bring Mr. Ploplis up. I think I made all the announcements we need to make, and we're not going to have obviously Hashman's Basics today. So when Mr. Ploplis comes back through, we're going to grab him up. Kim, I can't wait. I saw that. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be fantastic. That's going to be good stuff, Kim. Good stuff. Oh my! Here's this dude. Now, look, I know that you stuck with just me, and that the real draw to this show is actually Ashman, and I realize that, and I acknowledge that publicly.
Okay.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Hang on, I'm trying to get my camera to...
There's no rush. Take your time. Happy Accidents, man. Drop when your art show is this weekend while we get started here, man. I know that you got a art auction coming up. I told the people it was Friday. I could be wrong on that though, but I believe it's Friday. If you don't mind, Chad, drop it in there, man. Let them know. Let the people know. This guy we have over here, I told y'all a little bit earlier about how I ran across him. He was actually out there trying to help somebody, which is a dastardly thing to do. And he's recently been through some pretty serious medical stuff, and he spent a lifetime saving lives and trying to save lives and helping people in their worst days. So I think this will be a rich conversation. There's a whole broad range of stuff that Mike can talk to us about. His art journey is a really kind of interesting one. It's another one of those that it's a therapy kind of thing in its beginning, in its infancies, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, and please forgive me for this. I mentioned this earlier. I was so unprofessional when I spoke to you. Am I pronouncing your name properly?
Yeah, Ploplis.
Ploplis.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I thought it was, but I realized that. I was like, you know what? I might be saying that wrong. I never officially asked.
People up sometimes they throw extra syllable in, you know.
Heard that.
Or they put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Syllable. I love it. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being here today, man. It was an absolute pleasure. The couple times I've gotten to talk to you, it was a real pleasure, and it's really, really cool how we met. You know, vertebreakers. He's still in and out of the hospital. I mean, he's going through tests tonight.
I've tried to follow along with him, and I haven't touched base with him in a little bit since my own health.
I try not to, man. I mean, he's like, every time I get around him, I catch a cold or something.
It was like that's. I don't know, man. I just connected emotionally with Vertebreaker, listening to his story. You know, I couldn't imagine, being in the position that he's in, the insurmountable medical debt.
Yes,
I do understand, having my own health issue now. That stuff piles up fast, man. Way faster than you think.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel for him, man. And it just dawned on me listening to him that that was probably something I could do for him. I could help him get some prints, and he can, at least, earn a few bucks to, go enjoy some ice cream or
just something, anything.
Yeah. So yeah, it just made sense, and it was fun to to talk to him too. You know, like, you know,
Yeah.
I wanted to understand like his story, like, and you know, also I kind of wanted to like help myself with my own kind of desires and directions, kind of selfishly. It was I want to help people all the time. I just can't. But when I can, I want to do
feel you,
something I
man.
know I could do for him. You know, and he's just a great, deserving human being. You know, I wish I could do more. I wish I could do more. Yeah.
I tell you what, man. Laura, who there isn't anybody on the platform that I respect, or there isn't anybody on the planet other than my wife that I respect more than Laura. She is incredible. And when your name came up about being on here, man, she had some really nice things to say about you. And and if she's got nice things to say about you, she means it, because she is a very understated, very quiet. She's one of the most badass artists on here, and you wouldn't know it because she's always helping idiots like me. But so you jumped up the list really fast, because I got a bunch of requests to have you on. And for those that don't know out there, it does matter. You can send us emails and let us know, or send us a message. Get up with Laura, let us know. You can send us a message at the Ginn Project Woodworks at that G place that sends mail. And the more of those that we get, the faster someone can get on here. And I heard from a lot of people that wanted to have Mike on simply because he also has a track record. He's been part of this community for a minute, and we just hadn't really run across each other, I guess, in an official capacity.
Yeah, I've stalked you guys. I follow along, lurking and stuff. You know,
it's all good.
Nice to listen. It's nice to listen to everybody's stories, and like it really is. You know, it's something I've missed too. Like I've kind of avoided community, especially in the art world. You know, I was facing like, you know, some failures that I couldn't like even face myself. I didn't want to share my dirty laundry with the entire interworld. So I just took a break for a while, and you know, now when I wanted to come back, you know, it felt better. It felt more,
Right on.
You know, it did feel more, you know, safe. You know, but only because I freely use the block button.
Hey,
I'll block somebody. No, gotta get your vibe out of here, man. Your energy isn't working with me. You got goodbye.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
there's a creator on here named Nellie. And I met Nellie a couple of years ago. She's been a guest on, you know, when we first started the show, kind of. And she had a strict block you no matter, you say anything at all she didn't like, she'd just block you and move on. And at first that struck me as kind of like, man, but after I'd been on for a minute, I started figuring out, actually, she was right, man. That's the way to go. Cause there's billions of people in the world and everybody has a phone. So it could be anybody. Recycled Aaron is backing up what we're saying here. Says Mike helped me more than he'll ever know.
He's one of my, you know, there's relationships that you develop on here where there's this mutual appreciation and respect and admiration and love. Aaron's like one of those artists I've always connected with. We've always had a good rapport. You know, ML Huff, another, you know, Michelle Huff, love her to death. You know, Brandy. You know, severe, like, you know,
Sever's no joke, man.
All the artists that I dig, I love their art. I love but Aaron, like, is somebody that I've always kind of tried to maintain at least a thread that we could, you know, or, you know, communication we can open up. And, you know, I do appreciate, like, his passion for his, you know, and the way that he expresses himself artistically. But beyond that, he's just such a cool human being, you know. I don't really.
Right on.
You don't really have.
I don't like him already. Yeah. I mean, I already don't like him.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's amazing.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, I know, right? But through experiences like, shared experiences that I didn't intend on having, you know, so and it was kind of an organic kind of evolution in and of itself. The way that all the artists that are in my life have kind of, I don't know, surrounded me, or at least continue to revolve in the same orbit. At least, we may not speak every day, but like we're within one another's orbits. Corey Wilson was a big mentor, kind of social media wise. She had she taught me a lot, and I enjoyed working with her. And then, it was a tragedy that happened. Everybody's aware of it. Like, it was the Uvalde school shooting. 19 children, 2 adults, 3 adults, 2 adults. Yeah, 2 adults.
Too many.
Killed senselessly, right? And so we. I did a painting. It wasn't something I had planned to do, but it was on the day that it happened. So I did a painting, just trying to get something that was memorializing that moment, for whatever, good or bad. It was therapeutic for me when I did it. That's why I did it. And it got some like crazy comments on this platform. And then Days is another artist who Days came up with, or approached me and was like, hey, maybe we can do an auction and sell that piece off and give it to. And I was like, oh yeah, let's think bigger though. Like, let's do something, crazier if we can. And Corey also threw her hat into the ring foolishly. And so the 3 of us came up with Heart for Hope, and we did this whole auction thing online, right? And it was really something I was not expecting to do. I didn't want to be a front man or a spokesperson or have any experience having, those types of involvements, right?
I got you, brother.
I got pushed out front for this thing, and but so many people, Kira, I got Laura stepped in. I know we had so many artists jump on board. There's so many I can't even remember. Aaron was a big contributor, and one that was
Aaron Hammonds.
Aaron Engel.
Aaron Engel, right on. Okay.
Recycled Aaron. He was one of the big contributors too. There were lots of artists, and then we all, bit the bullet and paid for the shipping. Once they made the contribution and they provided the receipt that it was, paid for through the auction, then, the artists shipped it out for free too. So artists had to dig deep for this, you know what I mean? And we ended up, in total, it was over $8,800. I know. I don't remember the exact.
Wow.
That's
great, man. That's a lot of money.
It was a good bit of money that I think everybody really should have been proud of how well we did, and how even under the gun and with all the technical problems that we encountered, because it was a 12-hour live auction, each and every piece. So it was quite a bit of mouth time and giving everybody the kind of just overall description and
you weren't tired afterward, were you?
Oh yeah, I was wore out. But it was something that I felt like we really made a difference. And what people don't understand about that experience for me was also the fact that a lot of fucking really shitty people came out of the woodwork, you know, and they did
Anytime
not.
there's a project.
Yeah, anytime you think you're doing good for people, even some of the people who have good intentions, they come out of the woodworks as well, and aren't helpful in any way.
You said in any way.
And the people that really want to do you harm,
Yep.
you know, they
I feel you.
go out of their way to try to do you harm.
Yes, sir.
It was something that
Sure.
I really didn't share with a lot of people. But
I'm sorry you experienced that, though, man. I understand.
I think it was probably for the best too, because it really helped me to go about approaching my presence on social media in a much different way. You know,
I certainly had to change. We talked about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's okay. Like you know, and again, the block button helps a lot too. You know, if you for your own peace of mind. You know,
Right.
somebody that you just don't gel with, don't vibe with, don't see, don't see things in this from the same perspective in reality. It's okay, get rid of it. You know, but,
Well,
going back to the kind of the sharing of the Heart for Hope stuff is also because it opened up, a lot of avenues for communication between a bunch of great artists. You know. And I honestly, we couldn't have got it all done without everybody's help. You know, Dave, oil painting Dave, I think Dave, oil paint something. I can't remember his exact name. He's up in Canada. He jumped in and helped us get the more of the internet. Glitches that we kept encountering and stuff, trying to do the formatting for the web and stuff. At the end, he was fantastic, and I don't know, DK, Dave. I can't remember his last name now, but Dave. He goes by DK, and he offered to also assist. So. While it was like herding cats to organize the entire event, because artists, they just, but everybody was providing all of these little angles and little insights to help improve what we were able to do. So collectively, I learned a lot about how artists think and how they really look out for one another, So that's the one thing I do miss is that community, not for the purpose of doing anything other than returning to my community. I want to, I feel like, and I know I expressed this to you, is like, that's the one thing that I've really held to my high value. I understand like the things that we can accomplish collectively. And I also understand the limitations of what we can accomplish singularly or alone, so it's kind of something that I hope I was able to impart on Vertebrate. I'm hoping that, he sees the same thing. He does, though. I know he does. He's because the guy's got a good heart. He's an energetic presence on this earth who's supposed to be here, so I value, knowing that if I help him, he's just going to do the same thing for somebody else, or back to me, or back for me. You know what I mean? So I'm not, I know that I'm not going to have to rely on a relationship with everybody in a community such as this. But it's nice to know that I could,
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. The names I mentioned, Laura, Ash, Kira, Severed, Spurs, S.A., all of these people. And I mean, those are the people that those are my friends at this point. Like, I was skeptic coming on this platform, and those are the people that I spend the majority of my time thinking about or with or working on something with, or and it's remarkable, and it does kind of level the playing field. It gives people like we're able to connect from all different places that wasn't possible before.
Yeah, and
on this level.
I feel like it's a blessing at this point too. Like, we also had a clear understanding that social media is going to be the way that you can directly speak to somebody at this point. And in this,
except me, I'm AI, y'all. I'm not real. I'm AI.
You're AI. Yeah. So, the community aspect of it, I think a lot of young artists, or a lot of new artists anyway, they overlook that. They don't really see the value in having that community to bounce ideas off of, or to at least have, maybe at the very least, just, friendships that are experiencing similar type of conditions, at the very least, the camaraderie and something like that is,
yes.
Where trying to
when you help people that help other people, it's almost like a force multiplier, right? It is something that it's like the slow money concept kind of thing. The money stays in the community sort of right. idea. Right. Or and what I meant by force multiplier is that you get more out of less, essentially. I'm oversimplifying it because, like I've said many times, individually we don't have teams of lawyers and HR departments and engineering departments and people figuring out stuff. We're all of those things.
Yeah.
So if we work together, then I'm able to pick Ash's brain and Laura's brain and Spur's brain and Kira's brain or whatever. And it's not just navigating the business side of things. Hey, Enigma. It is the human side of things that I appreciate it so much, right? Like that connection that you were talking about, right? That ability to reach out and have a conversation and work through stuff and figure things out. And it's invaluable.
Yeah.
So tell us, Mike, let's go back to the beginning a little bit. And let's just give a little bit of whatever background of yourself that you're comfortable giving. We have some things in common. We both served. We both worn a uniform. I don't think you would compare yours to mine because you are in a branch that is pretty gung ho, you might say. But I was a C-130 guy initially. I was an active C-130 troop, jet engine guy. So my gunnery when I went to school first time in the Air Force, the person that ran my school was a gunnery sergeant, and the person that was the leader of my class was a corporal. Nice. I worked very closely with the Marines because they use 130s a lot. Yeah. And then when I was stationed in Germany, it was during the Gulf War and all of that, and the Army uses them a lot too. we would throw the Army out of the back of them. And this group of people that we're talking about, I got to work with some elite people, whether that was in the fighter world or in the operators world or whatever, just by virtue of what I did, And I'm telling you that the people I work with now are of that quality, of that standard. They are the best of the best. They really are. The names that we've been mentioning, the names that you've been mentioning. Yeah. The only difference is it's in an entirely different setting, right? Yeah, right? It's a much different setting.
Yeah. I joke around. I joke around.
Tell us a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I do joke around mostly to myself. I'm in here by myself almost 90%.
I understand.
So, it's just me talking to myself. But I think that most of the time it's me fighting me, right? And one of us has to go.
I feel you, man.
You know what I mean?
One of us is wrong.
Yeah. So, I was in the Marine Corps 86 to 89 in December of 89. I got out.
I went in December of '89, December 5th of
Was
'89.
it really? Yeah, it was right when they were gearing up to get everybody over to, I was like really fortunate, to get out. I was 0311 at the time in basic infantry. But I was stationed at Marine Barracks, Washington, and I was a guard member at 8th and I, which is the oldest post in the Marine Corps barracks. And
Oh wow!
so, but when I left there, I started a firefighter career, and eventually segued into a career change into EMS, into paramedicine as a paramedic, street paramedic. And then at the end of my career, I was a flight paramedic on a helicopter. I was a member of a flight, the med crew.
And everybody calls you Doc.
Nah, they didn't have any call me. No, they call me Doc. But it was, either with a flight nurse or another flight paramedic, and some of the best helicopter pilots on the planet. Most of those guys, Apache pilots, and every CH-60 to Blackhawks and stuff. They were all really experienced, very well trained pilots. So it was great flying with them. And but the drawback to me was that it was at the height of the pandemic. It was
Man.
yeah, it was,
That must have been horrific, man.
Oh,
Just
it
really.
was it was something that I never thought I would encounter in my lifetime.
Yeah, me too, man.
And to watch it unfold in front of me, and and to experience like the reality of people thinking it's not even real.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I'm missing some friends today because they didn't believe it.
Yeah,
They're not here anymore.
Yeah. I'm not going to harp on anybody for their beliefs and their, what they want to do with their own personal bodies. I don't care.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's their choice for sure.
Yeah. But at the same time, you can't be like, yeah, that's not real or that's not happening, because it most definitely happened, and it most definitely was real, So
it absolutely happened.
Yeah, it was one of those things that, like, after experiencing that, I just lost heart for doing.
I feel you, man.
So, also,
that must have been hard, really hard.
Yeah, it wasn't singularly, that in and of itself, or solely that in and of itself. It was more of the combination of everything at that point, and years of untreated and undiagnosed PTSD. So, that was that's part of why I wanted to allude to this service, because a lot of here's an interesting thing, man. A lot of people think that the PTSD only happens to those of us that have been in the military, but it actually is across the human spectrum. There are all kinds of trauma that people have been through that cause PTSD. Oh yeah.
And look, I suffer from it as well. I don't say much about it. You don't say much about it. That's kind of what we were taught to do in a way. We're trying to learn how to overcome that in many ways, I think. Both of us probably.
Yeah.
But that kind of sets you on your art journey, because art therapy was what was suggested. If I understood our conversation correctly, art therapy is what was suggested as one of the possible things that might give you a little bit of relief for the PTSD. There is no cure for it, but one of the things that would help. And that's kind of what started that journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So the way that it was kind of explained to me, I for the life of me can't remember this wonderful woman's name who actually taught or was the counselor for the art therapy session. The way she explained it was, pretty simple. It just allows you to focus your attention on a moment in space that's happening in front of you. long enough that you are able to shut out or drown out everything that's happening around you. And I was inept enough and kind of, I don't know, open to just letting go and doing stuff. And once I started to experience like that flow state moment, that separation of the physical being that's manipulating stuff in front of you, your bone bag meat puppets, like a puppet, literally at that point. You're just a conduit, and it's an amazing kind of experience to encounter, or to allow that sort of surrendering of yourself to something else that allows you to have a really deep disconnect, and it becomes like a drug. When you get into a moment where you're feeling like the grain, has a different texture and sound as your hand sanding, or when you get into that moment, you can feel the vibrations of it. You can feel the experience of being in that moment only.
Yes.
And where you're staying in the now longer and longer and longer, it becomes addictive, And I think we everybody who's an artist, or anybody who creates anything, it is able to kind of find that moment where it's all just quiet enough that they can let themselves go and be that.
And that, my friend, is why I started calling the lives that I did flow states, because that's what the conversations that I would have with Chad or others was about. How do you attain that thing that you do on your own, but now you do it in a public space? On this platform, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Laura and Ash and Kira and Eve and those folks are the ones that were key to that for me. I'm working in a shop with tools that'll hurt you.
Yeah.
If you lose focus for a second, you could actually get pretty hurt in here.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of concerns. I actually stuck a chisel through my hand on a live, not all the way through, but in my hand, and it wasn't comfortable. But it was really fascinating to me. Like, am I going to be able to do what I do in my shop and do it live? Will I be able to get to that same level of performance if that on my craft, not performing like a actor or something, but
right. Yeah.
And the community is what allows it for me. For example, Laura being in the chat, moderating, Spurs coming through, Kim Floaterby coming through, Stitch Woman. These people have been there, and it's like an anchor for me, right? On those days that the PTSD is worse, right? Or the depression is kicking in, or whatever portion of it that you're dealing with. Sometimes it's hard to talk yourself into doing the simplest things. And for me, I could just be like, all right, if I can just hit that live button, pretty soon my friends are going to show up and it's going to be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a very real way. Because I was down here by myself for years. My shop is in the basement of my home, so I don't even have to go around people. Like I could literally just they now deliver groceries, so I wouldn't even need to leave if I didn't want. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's who I was for a lot of years. I just kind of quietly did my own thing, and but it is an interesting way to start an art career, my friend.
Yeah, it wasn't really, well, I have to admit, man, I kind of manifested it. There was a point in time where I was having a conversation with one of my partners before shift, and I expressed, I was like, yeah, I think I'd be much happier if I was just making art. The kind of inside joke that I have with myself too is like, art is really safe. There's no way I can kill anybody with my art. You know what I mean? Nobody died from my art.
Yeah.
The pressure's completely, not there, the where, being on that helicopter, especially, man, like the pressure was so high, all the time.
All the time.
Like, and I felt like I felt like I was able to at least, face it head on, and do the best I could through it. But I knew when it was time, I knew when I had enough, and burnout,
Yeah.
it isn't just burnout, where people say, it's just burnout. You just need, the difference,
Yeah. I burned out of my career too. Yeah. In a very real way.
Yeah.
It just wears you down, man, every day. That it's a lot of things, but for me, it's what you were alluding to, the impact you have on other people's lives, and the pressure that comes with that. And sometimes how their life, or if their life is going to be. And it's a lot, man. It's and there's also, I don't want to say too much. There's also misconceptions. There's also, like you alluded to, there are people that don't necessarily understand what it is, because it's not always the same. It presents itself differently almost in every person. Marines, the Marines and soldiers and airmen and Navy guys and women, and like the Coast Guard. And then you get into like police forces or EMT and all. There are some distinctions in there of what they're dealing with, but there's also similarity. So it gets very confusing for people, and you don't have to be kicking in doors to have it. You know what I mean? You could have been in a car accident in your life at some point, and that could be,
Sure.
There's a lot, and I'm just throwing out an example, but people always tie it to the military. And what I've learned is, there's a lot of folks walking around that have never been in the military that have been through some serious trauma in their lives.
Yeah. And it's really not that difficult to understand from, an EMS perspective, or a firefighter's perspective, or a law enforcement perspective. It is a different nature of animal, or different beast, I guess, than the military's type of. No less severe than any of the other. It's, like you said, there are differentiating factors, and you kind of develop a way to compartmentalize everything when you're working in an environment like that. If you're on an ambulance and an advanced life support unit, and you don't get out of it for 12 hours because all you do is run call after call after call after call, where it's pretty thin,
Yeah. Oh, sure. I bet.
You just have to, you have to find a good work-life balance too. And a lot of times when I was trying to use my art therapeutically, that was where I was able to kind of separate and get away from the mayhem a little bit.
Right on.
When I really needed it, it was my art was there for me. It got me, really through a lot of key moments and situations and environments that I would normally have a much more difficult time, enduring and coping with, surviving.
Well, I'll be honest. Those that are close to me know me. I'll say it. One of the ways that I coped was I drank a lot, man. I won't say that I was an alcoholic, and the reason I don't say that is because I didn't run into all the problems that people have. I was, by nature of what I did, I didn't have to travel. I wasn't driving around. I wasn't whatever. So I didn't get in trouble. I didn't cause problems. But I drank a lot, every night when I got done with work, I was going to have some drinks. And that isn't the most constructive way to deal with it either for a couple decades.
Most of the destructive stuff was like behavioral for me, rebellious more than anything, trying
trying to like push boundaries and you know, right to the very envelope, and you know, not necessarily intentionally, consciously aware of what I was doing, but I was, you know, probably trying to just get myself canned.
Right,
You know?
right. Yeah. I understand. Your brain goes to that place where you
Yeah.
just don't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
you just literally don't care. Like what are they gonna do to me that they haven't already done? Like you know.
And you know, but
He lost.
but the transition to art was such a huge risk. Still is a huge risk, you know, because of the amount
Huge
of
risk.
well, yeah. I mean, and it's not like I have a retirement. I just turned 60. It's not like I have a retirement to, you know, lean back on. So it's
I got what you're saying.
a gamble. You know, it's me, you know, reinvesting anything that I earn into creating more and better, bigger, better, whatever, you know. And it's also, you know, using my savings and being, you know, being frugal with how I, you know, create my business and how I function as a business. And it's been less of a focus for me than it should be, if that makes any sense.
The business side of it.
Yeah,
I understand.
it's so easy
Thank
to
goodness for my wife.
yeah, it's so easy to be the artist.
Yeah.
But like you were alluding to earlier, it's so difficult to be the producer, the cameraman, the sound guy, the editor, you know, the web designer, HR.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to do all that stuff.
And the PR, they're going places and making doing the appearance stuff and meeting people and doing all that, the networking. None of that is easy, especially for somebody that's dealing with some of the other stuff we were talking about, the CPTSD or PTSD or any of them.
So, you know, once in a while, I got to give myself some grace too. Like you and I had this kind of briefly.
That's a wonderful point, Mike. It really was a wonderful point. Yeah, please share that.
So, you know, no matter, I don't know. I think we were discussing something along the lines of the failures that artists encounter and endure on a regular basis, not just through, you know, creation of whatever they're working on. You know, it could be a multitude of different things where the artist is going to encounter failure, and instead of walking away from it, they're going to just try to analyze it and figure out how the failure occurred. Maybe try to avoid it on the next go around, because you're not going to stop. Nobody's going to be like, oh, I over erased that pencil rendering too much. They're not going to do that. They're going to go back in with the pencil, you know, and repair them, you know, the fuck up, and they'll be like, oh, I'm okay now, you know, and move along. They learn from those types of failures over and over and over and over again. And some of the thickest skinned people are the artists as well, you know. But
Ashman's had some good things to say about that, about being willing to fail, trying stuff. You know what I mean? He's big on that for sure.
It's key to growth.
That's why he's so good.
So it's the imperfection of that. Imperfection is, I don't know, probably mandatory with the type of approach when you're doing it that way. You want to be as human and imperfect and fucked up as possible when you're trying to reach that state where you can just allow that process to happen in front of you, right? Where we talked about the flow state before. Well,
yes.
Part of the thing is, you know, you need to be able to kind of separate yourself, right? So there has to be a period where you're allowing yourself to have some grace. Again, because you're just gonna go in with the intention of failing over and over and over again until suddenly you don't fail at it and you stop. Whatever it is, that's usually how it ends up for most artists, whether they admit it openly or not. They're just going to go through the sequence of failures over and over and over again until it stops failing, and that's when to stop. And
That's an interesting way to put it, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
the imperfections all along the way suddenly all make sense when they're all combined in the way that their intention is to be combined, and it really has to come from a place like I said, you got to give yourself some grace, allow yourself to have the ability to be imperfect and fallible and fucked up. I'm
Yes.
sorry, can I cuss on here?
You can do whatever you want. It's your show, sir. This is your show.
They should have warned you anyway, because I always have a foul mouth.
To be honest, Mike, we talked on the phone, man. I cuss like a sailor when I'm not necessarily, and sometimes I just know that from the FYP there are some kids that are in my food chain of my family that watch occasionally, so I'm careful, but we're past their bedtime, so it doesn't matter. If you're still watching, you're supposed to be in bed. You can't tell on Uncle Mike over here because you're supposed to be in bed.
So then you're 55. You're 55, right?
Yes, sir. I made 55 this year.
All right. So I got
89. I graduated high school, and that's when I went into the Air Force. The year you got out.
And I was going to touch
of the Marines.
Circle back on that. So you initially were a heavy jet mechanic, and then you switched to fighter jets late in your career.
I was only in for about 8. I was active duty. I went in right out of high school. I had a guaranteed job. I went in, became a jet mech, got sent to Germany, and that's when I had a long tour, 2-year tour, my very first tour. And that's when all the Gulf War and all that stuff happened. Soviet Union collapsed. The Berlin Wall came down right before I got there. So there was a lot going on.
Yeah, I remember all that. I was there.
So for me, what happened was by the time all that stuff was over, I got orders to Little Rock, Arkansas, which was the biggest C-130 base we had. But I only had like a year left, and I wasn't staying in. I went in literally so I could go to college. Like that was my way out. And my commander knew it, and he told me about this program called Palace Chase that they were just starting. And if you were signed up and you had the GI Bill and your intention was to go to college, you could get out and go to college. They put you in a reserve unit. So they were going to send me to a reserve unit at Eglin, which was right down the road from where I grew up. And by the time I got back to the States, they had filled that slot. So they just let me out. So I was out. And then I got a call from New Orleans. And New Orleans had a F-16 unit, a fighter squadron. And I was a jet troop. And I'd done pretty good, when I was in. And they said, hey, we'll send you to F-16 school if you want to come crew fighters. So I was going to LSU in Baton Rouge, and New Orleans is less than 2 hours south. So instead of bagging groceries on the weekends or whatever, I would go crew fighters and work on the jets. And then I got paid like a staff sergeant instead of like a dude bagging groceries. So I eventually, that leg injury I mentioned, I wasn't on duty. I was in the reserves at the time, and I shattered my ankle. And ultimately they offered me a desk job, but I'd been on the flight line for years, man. So I did it because I loved working on planes, and that's where I could make the most money to pay my bills. Honestly.
No, I get it. I get it. I left a little town in South Carolina and joined the Marine Corps for the same reason. Just wasn't enough there,
My unit ended up, the 706 Fighter Squadron ended up going to Afghanistan and Iraq a couple times. And same like you, for that series of events, I ended up breaking my leg and getting out right before it all kicked off. So it worked out. I ended up graduating. I had my own practice in the social work field, writing training programs. And that's what I got burnt out on. And part of the reason I got burnt out was I didn't have any of the support that you have. There was no real support for the stuff kind of we were going through. And I just muddled my way through it kind of. But ultimately, I think the profession burned me out, but also part of the baggage. Trying to carry that baggage the wrong way too probably wore me out in hindsight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that too, man. You know, it's when burnout hits, um, it's really easy to just allow it to kind of spiral. You know, especially if you're in the mindset for it. If you're in it such a injured, hurtful place, or you're in uh, the ruminating portions of burnout where you just constantly think the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's time to just call it quits. You know, no matter what you're doing. You know, if it eats you up, if
Yes.
you're happy to the point where you just you can't find joy and meaning in anything, just give it up. It's so much easier.
Yeah, man, you're right. And my whole life had been dedicated essentially to that career field. The reason I went in the military was to be able to afford to go to college.
Yeah, right.
But the thing about it is there's like, I absolutely love what I do for a living now, man. It is so fun and it's so enriching and so great. And I loved what I was doing before. But the thing about the burnout, it also comes in different forms. Man, I don't think I've ever mentioned this before publicly. But what happened to me was I started waking up. I woke up. What happened was I was passing out. I woke up a couple times on my office floor. I woke up on the office floor at home. And then eventually I ended up having a series of seizures, which were pretty serious. I had what were called cluster seizures one day. And it was not good. And they did brain scans and all kinds of stuff. And they found, from where head trauma had happened and stuff like lesions and, which is common for the subject we've been talking about, actually. But I can remember laying on the floor. I'm kind of coming to, and I'm looking at the ceiling tiles, and it was like, the place that I rented that the practice was in, and it had those pop down ceilings in it.
Yeah.
And I can remember looking at the ceiling tiles going, what the fuck, man? What happened? Where am I? What's going on here? And like, I got to change something, man. This is not good. Like, this isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
But I just remember it kind of washing over me like, dude, you got to do something different, man. This ain't going to work.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's rock bottom is different, right? Like everybody's rock bottom is like their own individual, crafted.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Experience for themselves. Yeah. So like, I know that knowing what I know now, I probably should have pulled the plug on it much sooner. It would have been much easier to recover from.
Yes.
I put myself through such a punishing period of time.
It's part of that grace you were talking about. Like the last person we seem to give grace to is ourselves. Now, I'm not an advocate for getting carried away and me all the time kind of thing. That isn't healthy either.
Yeah.
It's okay to give yourself some grace in hard times, right? It's okay to give yourself some grace on a daily basis. But that has to be balanced with the competency, right? in my world anyway. Well, so you're an artist.
Yeah.
And you do some art related stuff. Would you be willing to talk to us about any of that?
Sure. About art.
I mean, I know you didn't want to talk about your art at all, but let's talk about your art some more.
So, I've been fortunate to have an exhibit. Back May 6th, not too long ago, I kind of decided to kick off trying to revive my art business. I had really neglected it more, out of shame. I didn't want to come out and be like, I failed at being a professional full-time artist, but I got over it and I started to really make a go at it, and in a short period of time, a lot of stuff manifested for me that I kind of had seeds planted, a couple of years ago on, So I had I had this interest in having my art shown at a local venue called Heart of Salisbury. So within like a 6-day period, I went from having nothing except for the possibility of putting my stuff on my website and digitally, launching it, or nothing. I didn't have anything on the books at that point. And then Vivi A.S.H, the owner at Heart of Salisbury, she reached out to me and asked me, "Hey, I hear you need to have a show." I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Yeah, you want to have a show?" I go, "Just so happens I have a show stacked in my garage, ready to go." I had just photographed everything.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So then she calls me up, or she texts me, and we arranged to have it open end of May. So I went from having nothing to having an entire exhibit that's lasted 2 months now. It's going to be all the way through the end of July. I had that happen. Then shortly after that,
pinkies up. We call that pinkies up, man.
But shortly after that, I had a stroke. Like June 12th. The evening, right about this time of evening, I was washing brushes.
Scary.
Yeah. I was washing brushes in the sink. I'm doing normal stuff, and all of a sudden, boom, I can't move my right hand. Like, it's glitched. I can't move my fingers. I can move my arm a little bit, but I have no use of my lower arm, right arm. And then all of a sudden, I started noticing that I don't have vision. My peripheral vision is shrinking on my right side. And having been a paramedic, I'm like, oh shit, I know what's going on,
Yeah.
So my wife and my daughter drove me to the hospital because I knew what I needed to have done. I had to have, a series of diagnostic tests to see what type of stroke I was having. Luckily, I was having an embolytic stroke, or I had a clot in the deepest recesses of my brain. Of course, it has to be dead, like really deep in
right
there.
In the center.
It's called a watershed stroke. And I was able to get a medication called TNCase, tenectipase, I think is the technical or medicinal name. But it is a clot buster medication, but it can only be delivered within a certain amount of time. Usually there's a 4-hour window. Beyond that, they can't do it. It's too dangerous, because you have to actually be observed for at least 24 hours after administering, so you don't have internal bleeding start happening somewhere, and they have to,
Oh, wow.
It's a life-saving, or really life-saving, man. Like, I wasn't going to be completely bedridden or anything like that. It wasn't that severe of a stroke, but had I not had that, had I just gone to bed, well, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to have those, because it wasn't any pain. It was just boom. All of a sudden I'm glitched. I can't,
Right. God, it must have been scary though, man.
Half hour later, and I'd been in bed, as I was intending to do, it would have been a game changer. I would have woken up with the deficits, maybe even more severe, and then it would have taken a much longer time for me to recover. Whereas once I got that medication the following morning, I had returned to function in my right hand, and my vision had returned to normal.
Wow.
But it was also those things that kind of worked out, like I said before, things work out like they're supposed to work out. And this is again, it's one of those instances of synchronicities. It happened as it should have happened, and the end result, luckily, was like as good as it could have got. Seriously, like as good as it could have got.
even for a badass Marine, that must have been scary.
It was.
You know what I mean?
It still kind of freaked me out.
Especially a paramedic that knows what the hell's going on.
Well, I had a heart attack too. I think I told you a couple years ago. I knew exactly what was happening.
Man.
And yeah, so and knowing with the stroke, you know, it has kind of affected me a little bit more profoundly than I'd like to admit to. You know, I know that it's hard to describe. You know, that all of a sudden, you know, how you maybe were so comfortable and so at ease in moving all of your extremities prior to a second ago, and when you can't do it, it really does lift your head up a little bit. And just, you know, I'm really just full of gratitude more than anything, because it all worked. Like I said, you know, it all worked out and it's exactly how it should have. And everybody, you know, that needed to be there for my care was there, you know, and it's a great experience.
Yeah, man.
But you know, over the course of the last like 40 days, it's been kind of a whirlwind thing. So I've introduced some things like trying to rejuvenate the business, right? And I know you've been waiting for me to show my art instead of talking about.
No, man, this is why you're here. This is your show, my friend. I'm enjoying every second of this.
This is the condensed version, anyway, right? So I've got a lot of like different garment ideas. Somebody asked me a while ago if I ever considered doing anything on clothing, and I've always wanted to try to do it, but for some reason I never have. But now I'm trying to apply some of the things that I've learned over the course of making my art into or onto some garments and stuff. So it's been an interesting journey for me, and it's been another way that I can kind of create some opportunity for earnings in a fun way. So like the hoodies and stuff that I've done, a few of them are done with the pendulum using bleach, and then I brush feathers on using bleach, following the design or the pattern that the grid is created through the use of the pendulum. It's kind of hard to explain unless you've seen some of the videos. And I wish I had some of the hoodies here with me, but I don't. I don't. They're all sold. They're all gone. You know. But
he does have videos of them, and they're cool by evidence by the fact that he don't have any of them.
I do have evidence that I have. Yeah.
They're dope, though.
But now I'm trying to also work on other ideas. And this past couple of weeks, like I mentioned earlier, or to you yesterday when we had our brief talk, I'm just now coming back in and testing the waters of seeing what I'm actually physically capable of doing before I jump back in, both feet and start running my mouth. I want to be able to, I want to be able to cash the checks to that, right? I don't want to be, saying that there's a lot that I can do and I actually couldn't do it. But now I do feel like I can, I'm sitting out here in the garage and it's, 94 degrees still, you know what I mean? And I'm still doing okay, and I've been out working, doing, creating stencils out of, paper strips that I convert into tubes, and then I'll glue them all together to create a three-dimensional stencil. And I've been messing around building a few over the course of the past couple weeks, testing what I'm able to do. So I got one on the turntable here to kind of show you what I'm talking about. But it really has been a fun kind of experience, and I'm so glad that I got to catch your show last week, because I follow all three of the airbrush artists now, and because I do want to incorporate some use of airbrush and have some competency in using an airbrush and stuff. And it was perfect timing, and I was like, oh wow, I get to follow them and learn, pick their brains and watch their videos, and So
and that's a good crew too, man.
Yeah, they're
Alex and Mo and Eric.
All of them are great, without question. Mo was doing the piece with the fire truck, and I was like, oh, I like Mo a lot. Mo's my favorite guy.
Yeah. Well, I did. Yeah, I got a soft spot for Mo too, if I'm honest. Now, Flex and Eric, they good people, man. They good people. But
Flex is
Mo, I
something
mean,
really
Mo's
cool.
Mo, man. Like they would both tell you Mo's the coolest one. Mo would tell you Flex is the coolest one because she's a kind, gentle person. But
Yeah.
all the rest of us would be like, nah, Mo's the cool one.
Yeah, they're really cool to listen to. Their banter, they're they're a tight knit crew, man. They're cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Mo and Flex grew up together. They've known each other their whole lives. So
That's what I kind of figured out.
You can tell, yeah. You can tell. You can tell they got a pretty good connection there.
Yeah.
Um,
The art stuff has also been more of a focus on being more well rounded. Like I said earlier, I was horrible business wise.
Me too.
And
thank goodness for my wife and
but
Laura.
I've gotten better. And when I talk about building my art business, it's usually trying to figure out how to best present myself on my website, or how to present the collection of art that I've already amassed in a more cohesive and sensical manner. It's challenging for somebody like me, because there is not a piece of art that I've done that is alike to any other piece I've done. Every piece is completely individual and not replicated or duplicated at all. So
that's pretty cool.
And when I set out to kind of incorporate what I've learned on the painting side to the garment side, it's through the use of these same type of tools that I use to paint, like the pendulum thing with a dish soap dispensed through the pendulum instead of paint, or the paper stencils that I'm using, or I'll use them on a canvas or test them on a canvas, and then I'll try to do the same thing or something similar on the garments. So that's been one of the only things that I think that I've had like a similarity or a crossover, where I might do something on a canvas with a stencil, but I'll also do something on a garment or on a hoodie or t-shirt or whatever, and just to maybe throw it in with the painting or whatever, or to sell it on its own, or to offer it to somebody on its own. So it's also given me another opportunity to maybe hopefully do some more collaborative stuff with other artists. One, namely Aaron Engel. I really recycled Aaron. I'm really hoping that we finally get the opportunity to put it all together, where we have a sound collaborative experience.
Right on.
And
right on.
We
got to get Aaron on here then. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron's story and Aaron's understanding and Aaron's appreciation for the arts in and of itself is sound enough reason to have him up and have a good conversation with him. Just a guy that's like heart of gold.
In the chat is Aaron Hammonds, who I thought you were referring to. Aaron Hammonds, that's his hat right there. That's his artwork right behind me. So when you said Aaron earlier, that's why I said Aaron Hammonds, because he's behind me right here. And they're in the chat, one person away from each other now.
No, you get it though. So let me. I'm gonna switch my camera around so I can show you this.
Sure, man.
Easier than. Oh, made it. No.
Woodbender Bonsai, how you doing? Bonsai Love was in here too. Thanks for stopping through, y'all.
Oh no, wait a minute. Let's flip that. Yeah. All right. Do that for now. All right. So I'm gonna move you around. So this is on the turntable. This is one of the 3D stencils that I'm talking about.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Right now, all it is I just had to paint it. All right. I didn't mean to paint it anything intentional for this design. It was just fun trying to paint it with the varying colors and stuff. But it did create,
like such cool patterns on the paper that, you know what I mean? It's
Wow.
the three-dimensional design behind. So it's cool, but I wasn't trying to just paint it yet. You know, the paint is actually just to protect the paper tubes, because now I'm going to use bleach in an airbrush. I'm going to spray bleach in to create this three-dimensional pattern on the hoodie.
Oh, wow.
So this is the dragon body, right? And then I'll do wings with like dragon scale wings or dragon like leathery wings using dish soap. So this is like the setup for this one, but it's
awesome, man. Using
cool,
dish soap.
Yeah.
Now, this piece behind me, done by S.A. Artistries, is done using dish soap bubbles. Is that what you're talking about? Like putting paint in the dish soap and then letting the bubbles drop on it? Is that what you mean?
I'm actually talking about like dish soap. Like I have used bubbles and stuff, and it does work, but no, I'm actually using dish soap. I'll use dish soap as a blocking medium. Kind of
does it prevent the bleach from working or something?
Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance, man. I'm just.
Yeah, it keeps the bleach from changing the or penetrating the fibers. So that's what the 3D this stencil. That's what it looks like on a piece of canvas. It's really
shit. It does look 3D, man. And you discovered this by accident?
Nah, sort of by accident, but I've been playing around with it for a long time now. It kind of, you know, maybe it was an accident at the very beginning, but yeah, it's such a cool.
It's an experiment now. It's not an accident. It's an experiment.
Yeah, right. So, but like some of the garment stuff, like this is one I want to send to Aaron, and this one is done with dish soap.
Oh, that's cool, man.
It goes front and back on that one, and then this one is using that same type of stencil with the airbrush. It does
look 3D. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Holy crap, that's cool.
Yeah, this one's called All My Little Demons. And,
I love it.
At least they're smiling.
How'd you get all the smiles in there?
So that's airbrush as well. So all I did was took bleach in the airbrush, and I just drew a fine line. Yeah.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. And I want to do a little glow in the dark stuff on it, so each of them will pop and glow in the dark. You know,
that's awesome, man. Oh, that's cool. That's a peace sign on a blue jean jacket.
Yeah. So it's actually a front and back type of a piece.
Wow.
I wanted to kind of. I'm just playing around with this one, just trying to get like a graffiti kind of look. And it's just bleach, a little bit of spray dye, and then outlining.
Hey, that weirdo lady you were talking about earlier just came in.
Is that right?
Yeah. The one we were saying was the coolest of those three.
Yeah.
She's in here now. Be careful what you say, man. She's very vindictive. Hey, Mo. We were just talking about you, Mo.
So I know that I see, like, I've got like a ton of paintings. These are paintings, finished paintings that, like, I need a bigger obviously bigger place to really function out of if I want to be working on the scope and scale of stuff that I want to do. But it's just going to take some time, and you know, I think it's really difficult, and I know that everybody who is doing something creative now and trying to share their experience as an artist, they all have their difficulties too, just trying to exist in this type of environment, and it's not really conducive to people, you know, having the luxury to, you know, spend their money on a piece of art, you know. So
times are tough.
Yeah, it's a difficult environment, man.
So I'm trying to find stuff that keeps me, innovative a little bit, and the most that I can do. I don't want to turn off my camera. Hang on, I'm trying to figure out how to flip the camera again. To modify.
Hey, artistic lefty.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it again. All right, save.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The great, the one, the only, Mike Ploplis. Woo! Like Kermit. Yeah!
It's humid out here, man. I got up and moved around just a little bit, man. All of a sudden,
About to melt.
I got plenty of water.
Well, how do folks get in touch with you? Should they want to commission a piece or purchase a piece or talk about a piece?
So the easiest thing that I've found is if somebody's interested in something that I'm doing, just let me know how. You want to comment in a comment section on a video. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about any of the stuff that I do. I have a website, and I'll put a kind of a link. I think I'll probably just put a link on my page.
We're late in the show, and it's your show. So if they boot us or they give us restrictions or whatever, don't worry about it. Go ahead and tell the folks what the website is. Yeah. And Laura, if you don't mind, please type it in there, Laura.
So it's artbyploplis.com.
Artbyploplis.com.
Simple. I have my botanicals collection on there right now, and I also have some stuff that I've added to the merchandise offerings. So it's funny, I never really talk about my website. I never really utilize my website on here because as you know, every time I do, or every time you do mention your own personal website on this platform, you get pretty low views, man. People don't come in and hang out. So. Right. I mean, it's kind of, it is what it is. It's problematic, I guess, but
artbyploplis.com.
Yeah,
it's where you got to go, folks.
Yeah. So I've tried to take some time to reorganize this site. So there's not any original work on there yet. All the original stuff has been taken off so that I can properly photograph and properly size everything, because I'm using some of the augmented reality tools where people can see this stuff on their wall in actual, scale on their wall. So I'm trying to get that stuff right to add it back onto the website. It's going to be back up real soon. Like, that's another thing. Since I've had the stroke, I've been trying to manage my time, using some more time than I would usually dedicate to working on the website stuff. But I want to make sure it's right too before I just throw it back up in there for into the ether.
Right. Well, so if they wanted to reach out to you, what mediums are you willing to do commissions in? I know you're doing apparel. Are you doing any paintings or anything like that on canvas?
The only thing that I'm offering, kind of like commission wise for the apparel, is the actual winging it hoodies, because they're time consuming. So it's just steps that have to be taken where it undergoes a pendulum process where there's either bleach or dish soap applied to the hoodie, and it creates the grid or the pattern that I can follow. That it suggests how the one of a kind wing will look like. Each one is really, really different and really unique in and of itself. But it also takes an entire day or more of brushwork with bleach in order to create the hoodie. So I charge $120 for those, and I just do them really by word of mouth. Like this.
Gotcha. Betty Jean's got one. She said she's wearing hers today. 90 degrees outside. She's wearing a hoodie. It must be nice. It must be a nice hoodie.
Betty got number 6, I think. Betty Jean's got number 6. So I mean, it's one of those, like, I don't know, one of those things that I can at least I can at least do something really unique and really fun for relatively inexpensive. You know, $120 shipped. You know, I think that's a pretty decent and fair exchange for really one of a kind signed, you know, numbered hoodie. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know,
that's very fair, man. That's very.
I've got
fair.
11 officially out in the world, and I'm, you know, I'll take, you know, numbers 12, 13, whatever. You know, if they just tell me they want one, I've got some hoodies. You know, we can get something going for them.
Right on.
But I'm also trying to, like, you know, incorporate or like I said, expand the offerings or the design options and stuff with the hoodies. I've done some, like, I've created like 3D stencil, obviously with the paper, but I've also used like plastic lath that's used in like masonry work. I cut it up in pieces and wired it together to create stencils that, you know, for hoodies and stuff. I'm trying to be more innovative with that stuff. So, like I said, with the winging hoodies, it's really custom, really individual. So I like offering that first and foremost. But, you know, every little bit helps. At one point, you know, I was kind of joking early on in this, you know, effort to reinvigorate or bring our business back from off of life support was, you know, to really approach it as a way. There's 3.2 billion people on the planet. I don't need to reach everybody. So what I was hoping to find was, you know, maybe 1,000 people who would believe in me long enough over the course of a year to spend $100 with me. If you could, you know, do more, fantastic. You know, there have been people, you know, who have spent more than $100 with me. But that's all it would take for, you know, a life-changing experience, really. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm
right.
looking to reach all 3.2 billion people. I'm only looking for 1,000 folks, man. You know, it's attainable. Like, you know, now I have 963 more people to find. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully we find a couple today.
I've already found 23 in the course of 40 days, and I'm, you know, and along the way having, you know, health issues and all that stuff. You know, joyful. It's been a fantastic. It's been a rewarding experience again. So, you know, I'm encouraged, knowing that, like, it's nice to be seen again. You know,
right on, man.
It's nice that you see me. It's nice that Gene sees me. You know, Brandy, all the artists that, you know, I admire and respect. You know, that means a lot too. You know.
Well, let me just tell you, Mr. Ploplis, that you're an inspiration to others, man. I heard your name a lot, and you're making a difference. You're carving out your own niche. And look, this is a little bit off topic, and we're about to wrap this thing up. But for me, anyway, I'm just speaking for me personally. You being a veteran, you being a man, and speaking the way that you do in terms of, you know, seeking help when people need it, and the fact that you were a badass Marine carries extra weight with me, because it's less likely that you would be saying those things because of some of the training that happens when you go in the military, let's say. I'm oversimplifying, but
I get it.
So I think it's important. I think it's very important for men like you, that look like you, that sound like you, that walk like you and talk like you. When you go out and say, hey, I've been through some things, and it's okay. It really does matter, and it has an impact on people. And I can tell you personally, people have told me that you are that thing. You're an inspiration. So,
you know, I think I said this to you too. I'm okay being a role model now. I was so reluctant about it. I'm still kind of reluctant about it, because really, what's so fucking special about me? You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but really, like, I'm no fucking different than anybody else. You and I look like twins, sitting next to each other.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
we're
right.
really, we're fucking joking around, but we really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, except for my
Yeah,
afro, it's a little bit.
But like,
Put a hat on, we look alike.
but I do want to think that if I'm going to accept the role of mentor, role model, or inspiration in some way to anybody else, I just wanted it to be from a really good place, and I don't think it could be any more pure than through art. Art's love, man. It is a labor of love that we all have embraced in one form or fashion or way. And most of the time, whenever I create something, I am more surprised by what has happened in front of me than anything else.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Like, literally, sometimes.
How'd I do that?
I like using fucking crazy methods and techniques and means to create stuff only helps me to be more wild about stuff and carefree and have more fun doing it, and I hope that, like, I want people to at least appreciate, like, no matter what you have, you could still create something. Like, you don't have to have the best stuff. You don't have to have the highest dollar materials. Like, you really don't. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you have a desire to create something at the end of the day, beautiful, ugly, whatever. Just do the creating, and it will eventually begin to just create itself.
He's right. He's right.
He's
right. Even though he was a Marine, he's right.
Yeah. My current stays fine, by the
way. So please reach out. It's MikePloplis.com.
No.
MikePloplisArt.com.
Artbyploplis.com. Oh, you're baiting. I didn't even realize it. That's how dense I am. You are.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
I need a flowchart.
Artbyploplis.com. Make sure you stop by there. Get up with this guy. Get this guy over here. He is doing some individual, unique pieces of art that are numbered. Yeah, you gotta watch Ginn, Lord. I might tee it up for you. You never know. Yeah. I would like to thank you, man, very much for coming on, Mike. It was an absolute pleasure having you on, sir. Is there anything that we wanted to talk about that we didn't get to or that we missed?
I don't think so, man. I think and again, I appreciate you considering me for this and letting me come up here in the app. And it was actually a good time, and I enjoyed venting.
Well, thank you. I know that the folks were looking forward to getting to talk to you or getting to hear from you, and I'm looking forward to what you do in the future, man. And you have my phone number. That's the only number I've ever had. You always welcome to call me, and I'll be blunt, man. I'll say it publicly. You're a fellow veteran. You're an artist. There's a lot of things that we kind of had in common. Man, I'll be there for you, brother. I'll be pulling for you, man. Yeah. And you ever need anything, you reach out, brother.
Yeah, and pass along to all the gang. Appreciate everything.
I will do it.
Ego inflating comments and stuff.
I got a text from Haley today, and she had some concerns because your favorite color is indigo, which is somewhere between blue and purple. So what I suggested was maybe people could drop blue and purple hearts in the chat, and maybe we could call that indigo, because there isn't an indigo color on there that we could necessarily find.
I didn't know that
I didn't know
Uncle
that was
Noe. So what we do at the end of the show is whatever your favorite color is, Haley finds out, and then we have the guests who are kind enough to do so drop those kind of hearts in the chat. And then usually Eve or Spurs or Laura or somebody does some screenshots, and I'll get those to you sometime this week. So you got some proof that there you go, man.
Nice.
So you got some evidence that people love you, brother.
That's cool. Well, thank you.
Please go with purple and blue just like that in the chat. Please get some screenshots from Mr. Ploplis here. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, same, man.
Uncle Knowing is moving to New Orleans, man. Holy cow, that is amazing. I got friends there, Knowing. I got people there, man. Reach out. It is artbyploplis.com. Artbyploplis.com. Go check out his website. You can see it right there. Go check out it. If you want to see some of the stuff that he's done, he does have some videos posted of it. Please check that out. And Virginia mentioned that she had one of yours as well.
Yeah, Virginia just got number 10. Got number 10.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah.
Mike, for me personally, man, thank you for coming on. But more importantly, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for moving the way that you move and treating people with dignity and respect and kindness and thoughtfulness. And it means a lot, Mike. And I mean it when I say that having someone that walks and talks like you saying those things is even more important than it normally would be, I believe. With the experiences you've had and the life that you lived, you know some things, man. So the fact that you move with kindness and generosity says a lot about your character, sir.
Thanks.
So I'm done saying nice stuff about this asshole. We're going to throw him out of here. Please go by and check out my buddy Ashman. He's been having a hard time lately. He got in a tussle with Smokey the Bear, and every week they have a fight and something new's messed up. So please go give support to Ashman. Thank you especially to Laura in here, and Spurs and Kim and Stitch. Those are the people that ride with me quite often. Really appreciate y'all. Of course we appreciate everybody, but those are the folks that help keep the wheels turning. Mo, we've decided that nobody here likes you, Mo, and you're the least popular person in your circle. Just kidding, Mo. We loved you, Mo. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and supporting other artists. We're here because on Tuesday nights because we're trying to support other artists. Mike has been a guest on the show, and anybody that's been a guest on the show knows that those people can recommend other guests on the show, and their word carries a lot of weight because they've been part of the process. They understand what's going on over here. So, Mike, if you decide you want to put somebody's name forward, man, I would love to hear it, or you can put more than one. We'll add them to the list. But thank you, man. Please stay in touch. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do along the way. We will be shouting you out. I don't know if that helps you or not, though, buddy.
Find out.
Artbyploplis.com. Please go check out my man. He's an incredible dude, a wonderful human being, and a badass artist. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Please check out my man Ashman. Catch Matty Pace on during the day. And all these artists that are in the chat with you are amazing folks. Y'all make sure to follow each other. Thank you, everybody. And for the folks that came through here with Mike today, welcome. We appreciate you coming in. We hope to see you again.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you, sir. Good night, everybody.